So EA posted yesterday their most recent pitch notes for FIFA 20, and in these pitch notes, they talked about icons and what changes icons will have in FIFA 20. And there's definitely going to be some market implications for these, but before we get into those market implications, let's just take a look at exactly what these changes are. So if we go to the pitch notes article, and I'll leave the link to the pitch notes article in the description, we'll scroll down and there's a lot of information here, but let's just break it down into the important things that are going to have a big market impact. So the first thing I want to point out is that icons will be released in phases this year. The first phase will be base and mid icons, and they'll be available at the beginning of the game. The next icons that will become available are the primes, and they'll come out in December. And the last wave of icons that'll be available are the moments, and they'll come out in February. If we keep scrolling down, the next big market impact factor that we'll see is that in FIFA 20, there will not be individual or player pick icon SBCs. There will not be those long-running SBCs for the entire year. And the last thing that I want to point out is that in FIFA 20, we'll have icon swaps. Now, if you remember FUT Swaps from FIFA 19, this will essentially be the same thing. You'll get certain player tokens from objectives, and you'll redeem those player tokens to get icons. And in the article, they also announced the first release of icon swaps. So the first release will be on October 11th, and we'll see the likes of Drogba, Wright, Sanchez, Owen, and all the other players that you see in this image. So you'll be able to redeem those player tokens to get one of these players starting on October 11th. So now that we've covered all the information from the pitch notes article, now let's talk about some market implications from these changes. And essentially, they can be broken down into three different factors. 1, unplayable icons will be less valuable. 2, high-rated cards will be more volatile. And 3, player token objectives will be in high demand. So what do I mean when I say that unplayable icons will be less valuable? Well, let's look at the situation of Layman from last year. Now, Layman at the beginning of the game was relatively cheap. He was around 200, 300k coins. But then, all of a sudden, on Monday, October 15th, you see a drastic rise. Now, what was the reason for that rise? If we go back to the calendar, we'll see that the Prime Icon SBCs came out on October 15th. Prime Icon SBCs required icons, so any icons, whether they were playable or in-game or not, rose drastically. Now, we will not see Icon SBCs in FIFA 20. So this will not happen this year. These players, like Layman, will not be as valuable as they were in FIFA 19. So our second market implication was that high-rated cards will be more volatile. And for this, let's look at the situation of Andres Iniesta from last year. So, like Layman, he also rose drastically on October 15th when those Prime Icon SBCs were released. And he maintained that value throughout the entire game because he was a high-rated card that was required for those Icon SBCs. Again, we will not be getting Icon SBCs in FIFA 20. So we can expect these high-rated cards to be a bit more volatile this year since there won't be consistent SBCs in the game that require high-rated players. And the third and final market implication is that player token objectives will be in high demand. With icons available through these objectives, you can be sure that people will be willing to pay a good price for whatever they need in order to complete them. And we'll definitely be keeping an eye out when EA releases those first player token objectives. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please drop a like below, and we'll see you next time.